हरे कृष्ण। मम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। So we were discussing. Yes, I just want to tell one very nice incident. Not actually one girl, Jayatra. She is 12, 13 years old. She left her body 3 weeks back. Very exemplary way she left her body. She was suffering from cancer, and when she was diagnosed with cancer, then they did chemo, and then she said she don't want to take any more chemo, and it's very rare type of cancer. Maybe it comes in one person in a crore, that too male only, but somehow she got it. And then the chances were very less for her to survive. She said she will not take any more chemo, and she started taking some very restricted diet, some fruits and some millets, something for 6 months. And uh, she was actually very nice devotee. She had Jagannath deities. She used to serve them every day. And when their auntie, uncle, and other were in Jagannath Puri, she fasted for whole day that she want deities of Jagannath few years back, and their parents didn't had option, so they have to get deities for her Jagannath, and she was very sincerely serving. So children fast for some other things. She fasted for Jagannath. And in childhood also, when she was crying, she used to chant Narsimati, she used to stop crying. She was very devoted from childhood, and because of her, the parents became very serious. And then she fasted, and then few weeks back she became sick because of some simple thing. And for 5 days she could not eat and do anything. And she told parents very clearly that I uh, I don't want to die in the hospital. And last, like 5 days she was not able to eat. And then just when she was about to leave her body 2 days back, her father was trying to feed her some fruit juice and all. She told her father, Father, no, don't do all these things anymore. And she told her parents, now you keep leave for your office for 2 days. In case if they don't give any leave, you just leave the job, because she knows that she's going to go. And she's already preparing. Means this is actually something very special for children of that age. She's just 12, 13 years, I think. She's not fearful. She is not sad and sorry for what's happening to her. She's very conscious, and she knows she's dying, and she told her father, don't do anything anymore, all these things. He's trying to feed and all. She just told her, no need of all these things, it's over now. And then in the morning time, and actually where she sleeps, in front of her only altar is there. Their house is small, that is one advantage. You don't have many rooms for to go here and there. Where you are sleeping, your date is there only. And deity altar was open in front of Jagannath, and she was very peaceful. And one during like 6 months, she could give up all her sense gratification. No mobile, no internet. She's just uh, hearing, reading, and taking care of Jagannath, serving the Jagannath, because mother and father both are working. So she was alone many times at home with the deities. And just in the morning, she don't want to go to hospital. She told already, if my condition becomes serious, then may everybody may force me to go to hospital or not. Don't take me to hospital. I don't want to die. So she knows she is going to leave her body. At that age and with that level of consciousness, I was feeling how fortunate she is that she could leave her body in front of Jagannath. Yeah, very special. So not everybody will. I don't know how much. Actually, more we grow, more we increase our attachments and our affections and all these things. If you are small, there is, and if you are conscious, there are advantages. She was not attached for anything. And yeah, many actually, when on her, I was fortunate. Actually, I just went 1 hour after she left her body. I could see, she was quite peaceful, and I was fortunate I could do some kirtan for her. And then we had some small memorial type for her, and uh, many devotees, they were sharing how she is so inspiring for them. They're all big devotees, and they were inspired by that small girl. you know that is and that is very special. Even though they are small, they can, if he's a devotee, she's a devotee, they can make difference in so many people's life. And especially the way she left her body was very inspiring, even for me also. I was thinking, wow, such a special way. You already know you are living and you are not attached. Yeah, you know, we should be. That is why devotees are very special. Of course, outsiders are also. They also have this. When they are detached, they can also live peacefully this world, and we can achieve something higher in life. So, yeah, so we read Bhagavatam so that we get attached to Bhagavatam. So all the attachments of this world will eventually go away. That is the hope, that I may also give up my attachments to all these things that are holding me to this material world. Yes, different levels of attachment, some for sense gratification, some for mental pleasure, some for some other. Of course, it's all mind and senses only. And initially, when youth is there and senses are strong, it is sensual pleasure. I want to eat nicely, I want to see, I want to. And later on, it comes all mental pleasures with families, relationships, property, and Europe tour, Malaysia tour. It's all mental and sensual. We are so much caught up with these things. And it is good that we every day meditate on Bhagavatam. So eventually we can come out of that conditioning, and we may. It's so actually very hard. Where we should work is with our mind. Because when Arjuna asked Krishna that, Baladiva Niyojitaha, he says, Anichana Pinvashnena Baladiva Niyojitaha, even though I don't want it, I am forced to do this enjoyment and I am so much attached to these things. Then Krishna is not blaming, oh, what can we do? It is your Swabhava, you are programmed only like that. And no, you'll behave like that. Or he's not blaming, no, he's not telling, oh, it's you are like that only, so you'll behave like that. So many people, they take this situation. But Krishna is not telling, he's telling it is because of Rajoguna. Now, why is telling Rajoguna? That means he wants us to come out of Rajoguna and Tamoguna. Kamesha Kodesha Rajoguna Samudbhava. That means we have only one opportunity to change. Where is the opportunity? Because our body cannot be changed. Our physical composition of body is fixed. It cannot be changed. We may do some extra uh, some exercises and some diet, what do you call, dietaries, and we may change some physical shape, but it's not much. And soul cannot be changed. Then what can be changed is only mind, and mind can be changed when we give it sattva. So all the things that can be changed in life is only our mind, and that can be changed when we keep ourselves in mode of goodness. Things around should be very neat and clean, very simple. Food should be very simple. Our association, our books we are reading, and TV is for passion and ignorance. I also sit in front of my laptop, which is also passion. I honestly admit. But these are all things that is affecting our mind. So we are damaging ourselves. So we have to come out, means we have to come to mode of goodness and all the things. There are 10 factors that affect our mind. So which 11th canto Krishna tells. and agama, apa, and kala, karma, and all these things. He gives 10 factors, so it is very important. So where we have to work, and then we can also live our body like Jayatra, consciously knowing that I am going to live. She knows she's going to live in 2 days, and she in front of Jagannath, very conscious. It's a very special case. So I was very inspired. I went for the memorial. I thought of sharing, but somehow I was now I got opportunity. So I just it's very special cases. Sometimes Krishna sends some cases in our life so that we get nice lessons and inspiration. We also desire to go in that direction. Yeah, so we are hearing that Kardamuni's 9 daughters. So actually, just by hearing their names only, we get so much pious credits. Just hearing the names of Kardamuni's daughters, uh, all this, their names are only very auspicious. So it's very important that we hear them. So Kardamuni's daughter Kala was married to Marichi and gave birth to 2 children, Kashyapa and Purnima. Their descendants spread all over the world. And my dear Vidra, the 2 sons of Kashyapa and Purnima. Purnima begot 3 children. Uh, Actually, no, here in Mac laptop, it does not have Balram font. So it's a little tough here to understand what it is telling. So, yeah, so here uh, Kashyapa and Purnima, so they begot 3 children. Her name is Jayatra. She is uh, left her body just 3 weeks back. I just got call just maybe 1 hour before I would have gone there. I met her. She left. Yeah, very. Actually, now one more thing. I just wanted to tell how do we should be sensitive also. What happened when I went? This is a different incident, different point, but it is very important point. I wanted to share this. Like what happened? I went and was doing kirtan, and that girl left just 1 hour back, and mother and all other grandmother and auntie, everybody is crying. And one devotee Mataji came. She was also sitting there doing kirtan. She is telling her mother, "You do kirtan." I was like so upset with her. Her daughter died and she's crying, and you are telling her to do kirtan. And she's telling, "Oh, you do kirtan, it will benefit her." I was like, let them cry, you know. You should allow them to cry, you know. Means uh, how insensitive can we? You know, you are telling a mother whose child died, she's crying, you're telling to chant Hare Krishna, and that's 1 hour. See, if it is 1 week or 10 days, it's a different thing. Just 1 hour before, you don't even allow them to cry also. How bad it is. Anyway, we should be sensitive. We should know where, in which, which situation, what to talk and how to behave also. Hmm. Hare Krishna is good, but not at this point. Your child is dead and just 1 hour before, and you're crying and you're going and telling. It's not actually correct. Anyway. So here the 2 sons of Kashyapa and Purnima, here in Purnima's descendants are described. An elaborate description of this descendant will be given the sixth canto. It is also understood herein that Devakulya is the presiding deity of river Ganges, which came from the heavenly planet to this planet and is accepted to be sanctified because it touched the lotus feet of Supreme Personality Godhead Hari. And then Anasuya's, why I'm giving, because these names are very auspicious. Just by name, hearing them only, we get so much pious credits. Of course, we want devotional Sukriti, but because it is given Bhagavatam, we get devotional Sukriti also. Just the names are so powerful names. Anasuya, the wife of Atri Muni, gave birth to three famous sons, Soma, Dattatreya, and Durvasa, who were partial representation of Lord Vishnu, Shiva, Brahma. So here, story is also there where Ansuya, uh, because the question comes, no, why three of them came. So there is another story also connected to it that Atri Muni, 2 points are there in this. And it was asked when Lord Brahma ordered Atri Muni to create generations after marrying Anasuya, Atri and Muni and his wife went to perform severe austerities in valleys of mountains known as Raksha. So first thing is, if they are told to beget children, why did they go for performing austerities? They didn't go for honeymoon because the quality of what you get is based on the consciousness. So just by going after marriage honeymoon, you don't get very good children. If you maintain consciousness, you get children because they performed austerity. Supreme Lord appeared for them. If people go for some other honeymoon, then they cannot expect they'll get some supreme lord or some great personalities. They may get at the best some small demons. They will not get devotees at least. It is not possible like that. So here they performed austerities, first thing. And uh, then another point is here, important is, of course, the description is also there of how that mountain valley flow a river named Nirvindhya. On the banks of the river are many Ashoka trees, other plants full of palasa flowers. All these things are also very important because that place will help in keeping the mind in mode of goodness. So it is conducive for performing austerities. And then there the sage concentrated his mind by the yogic breathing exercise and thereby controlling all attachment. He remained standing on one leg only, eating nothing but air and stood there on one leg for 100 years. Now the point comes. He was thinking, may the Lord of the universe, of whom I have taken shelter, kindly be pleased to offer me a son exactly like him. So here the problem started. Problem in the sense he don't know who is the supreme. Oh, this is also a very important thing that previous ages, even Bhrugumuni has to confirm, who is the supreme among Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. And here Atri Muni is also confused. Who is the supreme, Brahma, Vishnu, or Shiva? It is not, it is actually really confusing for them. Now we know it very easily because of our Acharya's hard work. And Kali Yuga is also very fair also. Lord is also very fair in terms of giving that facility. That in previous ages, austerities were easy, knowledge was very difficult to attain that knowledge. Now we get so much information, but we cannot do anything with that because minds are very distracted, even though the facility is very nice. So when Prabhupada, I told this example also, no? Prabhupada was talking to big pandits in Vrindavan and then he asked, who is the Supreme Lord? They said, oh, it's very difficult. And he asked Saraswati, a small girl, 5 years old, who is Supreme Lord? She said, Krishna is Supreme Lord. How she could tell? Because of Prabhupada she could tell. That means the knowledge is there for us. Like Bhaktivinoda Thakur took 6 years for him to get Chaitanya Charitamrita. And for us, it will not take even 6 minutes also. We just have to go to internet and download whole Chaitanya Charitamrita. We get PDF. What I want to tell is that Lord is very fair. According to ages also, you have to understand what is truth is difficult. And no, even Brahma and great personalities, even Brahma was confused. Narada looks sometimes confused. He asks Brahma and says, who is supreme? He's asking him. Like that. And sometimes it's genuinely like even Sukadeva Goswami, the Leelas are there, but other times also the sages of Naimisharanya. And they are not considered pure devotees only. Sages of Naimisharanya, they are inquisitive, that's all. They don't know who is supreme. That's why they're asking all these questions. And they heard all the Puranas from Sutta Goswami. And in the end, they heard Bhagavatam. So that means they are sages, they are very exalted people. For them also, they don't know who is supreme. And we can see so many great, great sages who are devotees of Brahma, Shiva. And if you see Ramayana and Mahabharata, there are some sages who are performing great tapasya, and where they end up? They end up in heavenly planets. I was thinking, oh, if that much tapasya you do, you will definitely go back come back to Godhead. And here also Atri Muni and uh, when yeah, Anasuya and Atri Muni, they actually went and performed tapasya. We were thinking, oh, they can perform tapasya to go back come back to Godhead, na? Why they want children? Because that is also another point that all these people they continue to stay now also. See, they are at the time of Swayambhu Manu. That means it is six manvantras before, and still now they are there. They will be there till whole one kalpa. That means one day of Brahma. That means 14 manvantras they exist. That means that they're happy to do this service in the material world. Sometimes they come from spiritual world, or sometimes they are here only. They are very pious living entities. They want to be like that. But to go back home, back to Godhead, like we see, like proper disciples and some devotees in ISKCON, they are going back home, back to Godhead. That's why demigods they want to take birth in Bharatavarsha so that their attachment to this material world goes away. Because the pleasure that is experienced, they don't want to go back home, back to Godhead only. Very few people in heavenly planets will get that desire because everything is nice only. So why? You just have to make some adjustments, and they are not so much attached to that happiness of having love to Supreme Lord and all because they didn't get that association. That is the reason acharyas they come so that they can give. Anarpita charimchira karunaya avatirana kalo samarpitum unnatojjvala rasam. So anarpita charimchira. Charimchira means such a long time this is not given to the people in this material world. That love of Vrindavan. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has to come to tell what is love. Even this is not available for great personalities in the heavenly planets also. So here Prabhupada is clearly writing, it appears that great sage Atri Muni has no specific idea of the supreme personality of Godhead. You see so clearly, they don't know it. Of course, he might have been conversant with the Vedic information that there is supreme personality of Godhead, who is the creator of the universe, from whom everything emanated, who maintains this created manifestation, and in whom the entire manifestation is conversed after dissolution. Yato vai imani bhutani jayante. Yataha yena yasmin. So these three things are compulsory for a supreme. Yataha means the supreme should have everything should emanate from the supreme. That is yataha. Yena means that it should be maintained by the supreme. So it is a source of the supreme, maintained by the supreme, and everything goes back to the supreme. Yasmin. So then only it is called the absolute truth. Yataha yena yasmin. Yato vai imani bhutani jayanti. So this is from Taittiriya Upanishad. Then only you can consider it to be supreme. So Vedic mantras gives us information of the supreme personality of Godhead. So Atri Muni concentrated his mind upon that supreme Lord without. I'm just sharing another on that supreme Lord. So even without knowing his name, just to beg from him a child exactly on his level. So this kind of devotional service in knowledge of God's name is lacking is also described in Bhagavad Gita, where Lord says that the four kinds of men with backgrounds of pious activity come to him asking for what they need. Atri Muni wanted a son exactly like the Lord, and therefore is not supposed to have been a pure devotee because he had a desire to be fulfilled, and that desire was material. So this is very important. These people they want to enjoy at a very, very high level of consciousness in this material world only, not spiritual world. So even though it is such a great exalted thing, and they are really exalted people, still there is some desire to enjoy in this material world. Although he wanted is an exactly the Supreme Personality of Godhead, this desire was material because he did not want the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, but only a child exactly like him. Uh, if he had desired the Supreme Personality of Godhead as his child, he would have been completely free from material desires because he would have wanted the Supreme Absolute Truth. But because he wanted a similar child, his desire was material. Thus, Atri Muni cannot be counted among the pure devotees. After performing so many austerities, after doing so many things, and having the Supreme Lord as his child also, still he cannot be counted as pure devotees. Why? Because they didn't had association of, even of course they're all sons of Brahma only, but they everybody, even Brahma might have given instructions, but they cannot understand it. Not everybody, all the sons of Brahma are like Narada Muni. Everybody has their own their own things. There are four Kumaras, there are other personalities who are all mentioned here. Uh, Bhrigu and all. They are all sons of Brahma only, but not everybody is pure devotee. Or to get that type of association, we are very fortunate. At least we know what is pure devotion by the mercy of Prabhupada. Otherwise, it is not possible. Even such great personalities. That's why Prabhupada is very special. तप्यमानं त्रिभुवनं प्राणायामायुधसाङ्गिना निर्गतेन मुनिर्मा मूर्ध्ना स इमीक्षा प्रभवस्त्रयः. While Atri Muni was engaged in this severe austerity, a blazing fire came on his head by virtue of his breathing exercise, and that fire was seen by three principal deities of the three worlds. And Jiva Goswami writes, according to Jiva Goswami, the fire of pranayama is mental satisfaction. That fire was perceived by the super soul Vishnu, and thereby Brahma and Shiva also perceived it. Atri Muni, by his breathing exercise, concentrated on the super soul or the Lord of the universe by uh, his breathing. Lord of the by as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Lord of the universe is Vasudeva, Vasudeva Sarvamiti, and by the direction of Vasudeva, Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva work. Therefore, on the direction of Vasudeva, both Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva perceived the severe penance adopted by Atri Muni, and thus they were pleased to come down as stated in the next verse. So, what happens is sometimes this, if they are able to concentrate on certain elements, so then they will get a benefit, they can control that element. That's how it happens. And it affects the whole universe also because you are concentrating on that element and that element is connecting. It's all, whole universe is actually interconnected. It's a harmony. It's just not separate entities. They're all connected. So if we are polluting the air, it is going to affect the whole whole globe, right? Similarly, if we are able to control the air element, it will affect the whole universe also. It is all connected like that. Maybe some other time we will discuss on controlling. We'll see if some other tapasyas come. Dhruvara section we'll discuss. अप्सरो मुनिगन्धर्व सिद्धविद्याधरो विद्याधरो रगै विद्वैतायमान यशसा तद आश्रम पद्मयय युयु. At that time, the three deities approached the hermitage of Atri Muni, accompanied by the denizens of heavenly planets, such as the celestial beauties and Gandharvas, the Siddhas, the Vidyadharas, and Nagas. Thus, they entered the ashram of this great sage who had become famous by his austerities. So it is advised in Vedic literature that one should take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the Lord of the universe and the Master of creation, maintenance, and dissolution. He is known as Super Soul, and when one worships the Super Soul, all other deities such as Brahma, Shiva appears with Vishnu because they are directed by the Super Soul. So if you pray to Lord Vishnu, if Lord Vishnu comes, gives darshan, other demigods also will appear there. तत्प्रादुर्भाव संयोग विदोत्तमना मुनि उत्तिष्ठन् एकपादेन ददृश विबुधाश्रभान्. The sage was standing on one leg, but as soon as he saw the three deities, deities appeared before him. He was so pleased to see them all together that despite great difficulty, he approached them on one leg. For us, no need of so much. प्रणम्य दण्डवत् भूम्वा उपतस्ते अर्थिनाञ्जलि वशहंस सुपर्णस्थान् शैव शैव चिनैश्च चिन्तितान् चैनितान्. Thereafter, he began to offer praise to the three deities who were seated on different carriers, a bull, swan, and Garuda, and who held their hands a drum, kushagras, and a disc. The sage offered them his respects by falling down like a stick. Prabhupada writing about danda. Danda means a long rod, and vata means like. So this is nice instruction. Prabhupada, right? Before a superior, one has to fall down on the ground like a danda, like a stick. And this sort of offering of respect is called dandavat. Nowadays, people started telling this Panchanga Pranam. Actually, it is dandavat only. You are offering obeisances. What happens is in dandavat means you have to your feet, ankles, and no your chest, arms, head, and your mind and consciousness, and the words and consciousness, all should be offered. So seven things are offered. When it comes to women, because that part of the chest is motherly indication, so that part will not touch. That's why they offer half panchanga, and hands, ankles, and no feet plus their words and consciousness. So they offer five things, but it is Dandavat only. We are offering our. Uh, this is uh, what is the instruction that is given. Atri Rusi offered his respect to the three deities in that way. They are identified by their different carriers and different symbolic representations. In that connection, it is stated that here that Lord Vishnu was sitting on Garuda, a big equine bird, and was carried by his hand, carrying in his hand a disc. Brahma was sitting on a swan, in his hand Kushagras, Lord Shiva on a bull carrying Brahmaru. Atri recognized them by their symbolic represented in different carriers, and thus he offered them prayers and respects. So we have to offer Dandavat Pranams. And then he says, Atri Muni was greatly pleased to see the three devatas were gracious towards him. His eyes was blazed and by effulgence of their bodies, and therefore he closed his eyes for the time being. Since the deities were smiling, he could understand they were pleased. Their glaring body effulgence was intolerable to his eyes, so he closed them for a time being. And then next two verses says that. So now very interesting. If you see, the conversation will go, okay, his daughter gave this son, sons are born, and this daughter, sons are born, this sons are born, and suddenly someplace Supreme Lord comes. Then there will be detailed explanation. Then again, another genealogical continuation happens. He is born, and suddenly, oh, here the Supreme Lord born. Again, explain more detail. So that's how suddenly, okay, Dhruva came. Okay, what happened, Dhruva? I heard that Supreme Lord came for his darshan. Oh, explain. Four chapters goes in that. So like that. So when he was talking about Swayambhu Manu giving his daughter to Kardamuni, then so many chapters went because Lord Kapla is going to be born. So whenever Supreme Lord is come, the discussions becomes very elaborate. But since his heart was already attached to by attracted by the deity, somehow or other, he gathered his senses and with folded hands and sweet words began to offer prayers to the predominating deities of the universe. The great said Atri said, O Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu and Lord Shiva, you have divided yourself in three bodies by accepting three modes of mental nature, as you do in every millennium for the creation, maintenance, and dissolution of the cosmic manifestation. I offer my respectful obeisances unto all of you and beg to inquire whom of you three I have called by my prayers. He himself is confused. There is another story of Anasuya, and when she was glorified in front of Lakshmi, Parvati, and Saraswati, so they wanted to test Anasuya, how much she is chaste. Or maybe Narada or somebody, they glorified the chastity of Anasuya. So then they tell their wife, their husbands, you go and test Anasuya, her chastity. They say, okay. So they all three go and they said that they go in front of Anasuya and ask for charity. And he says, okay, I'll give charity. But they said that you should not wear any clothes and then feed us. And because they are the predominating deities, she said, okay, no problem. And what she does, she sprinkles water on them. And all the three of them become small children, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. And they are very, then she puts them in cradles and then feeds them without wearing any clothes. And then Parvati, Lakshmi, and Saraswati, they come in searching their husbands. They didn't come back. Then they come to Atri Muni's ashram and they see Ansuya is taking care of three small children. Then they ask, "Arey, where are our husbands?" She says, these are your husbands. And this says, but who, because all three are looking same, means not same, but they don't know who are there. They are small children. They say, how do we know who is my husband? Then she applied tilak, according to Brahma, Shiva, and Vishnu. And she applied tilak to them. And then they identified, oh, is my husband. Then they tell, oh, we accept you as very special and very chaste lady. Please make our husbands in normal condition. And because with our power, she converts them into Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. So in that way, all three of them. So they say that they formed one personality, Dattatreya, with three heads. Some past tense and some past tense. It is like now here what we hear is there are three personalities: Soma, Durvasa, and Dattatreya. And she made them into small children, so they appeared as children for them. That's another story like that. So here, Atre Muni is saying that Jagadishvara, the Lord of the universe. The Lord must exist before the creation. Otherwise, how could he be Lord? Uh, if someone constructed a building, this indicates that he must have existed before the building was constructed. Therefore, the Supreme Lord, the creator of the universe, must be transcendental to material modes of nature. But it is known that Vishnu takes charge of modes of goodness, Brahma takes charge of mode of passion, Lord Shiva takes charge of mode of ignorance. Therefore, Atri Muni said that Jagadishwar, the Lord of universe, must be one of you. But since these three of you have appeared, I cannot recognize whom I have called. You are so kind. Please let me know who is actually Jagadishwara, Lord of the universe. In fact, Atri Rishi was doubtful about the constitutional position of Supreme Lord Vishnu, but is quite certain that Lord of the universe cannot be one of the creatures created by Maya. His very inquiry about whom he has called indicates that he was in doubt about the constitutional position of Lord. Therefore, he prayed to all three, kindly let me know who is transcendental Lord of the universe. He was certain, of course, that not all of them could be Lord, but the Lord of the universe was one. Okay, we'll end here. Thank you all very much. Any questions, comments? Uh, Yeah, I'll pray for one devotee requested for prayer, so we'll offer prayers for her daughter. Okay, thank you all very much. We'll end here. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, शिल प्रभुपाद की जय।